it better. I would like to hold
My little hand. Just my little hand.
Boy.
Not my largely sized hand. What band sings that song?
Rusty Roots ain't rusty no more.
That don't sound very rusty. I'll tell you that much.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. Do you think anyone's made a rap version of the Age of Empires theme?
Oh, like, definitely. Have you
Call
seen the ones
themselves
for,
Little
like,
Villager?
RuneScape and that?
No, I haven't, because I never really played much RuneScape. I don't care a lot for it.
I don't care a lot for you, I guess.
Yeah, no,
No,
look,
like,
that's fair enough, but...
No, because it's, like, the Varrock theme and the Grand Exchange themes and just classic island ones. Everyone gets around that. Surely there's got to be a rap for, like, every relatively popular game ever.
I think so. Do you think there's one for Sega and Sonic All-Stars Racing?
I mean, yeah, if I just reiterate what I just said.
That's an underrated kart racer as well. That game is good.
Is it?
Yeah,
It's just another kart racer, though. What makes it special? Like, I never really played anything like that.
I don't know. I just remember, I think it came with my Xbox 360 when I got it. Or maybe my sister bought it soon after I got it because she wanted Mario Kart, but obviously can't get that for Xbox. And we played it a lot. And it was just really smooth. Like, the gameplay was really good. I actually nearly prefer it over Mario Kart. But,
Fuck
yeah.
that.
It was good fun.
Oh, I need a burp. That's like blasphemy.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's like meant to be like kind of the pinnacle of those.
Well, I think it's just because it's the only one people bother to play. But, yeah.
I don't know, like, there's got to be a reason. Like, there's a reason why games are at the top.
Oh, I think the name and brand of a game helps, and nostalgia helps. I mean, the fact that it's named Mario, everyone owns a Nintendo system, and everyone played Mario Kart because it was the first, like, popular kart racer.
Yeah,
back
but
in the day.
Sonic.
Yeah, but, yeah. But, yeah, but, yeah. I mean, Sonic's not as big as Mario.
No.
No.
But still, it just kind of trumped the old Sega racing out completely.
Yeah. No, it's good fun. I never played the second one, the transformed one, where you can fly and stuff. Are you going to start this game?
I don't know. Probably not.
I clicked the I'm ready button. But yeah. You guys are probably thinking, oh my god, this looks different. This looks different to the last week. They haven't had one consistent episode where they've had video or a consistent background or anything with this podcast yet. But we are playing some Age of Empires in a segment called, what are we calling the segment again?
I want to run away. I want to fly away.
We're going to call the segment I want to run away, I want to fly away. No, I think it's called, like, in the heat of the moment or something like that.
Yeah, in the heat of the moment. You know, when you're just playing with your mates and you just, whatever comes up, comes up.
Yeah, that's it. It is a working title, but, actually, let me turn the game sounds off. I'm not going to know when I'm under attack or anything like that, because I just turned all audio off, because that's going to get annoying for people who listen to the podcast.
You didn't even know you were under attack when we played this first time, so you had audio then.
You shut your filthy mouth.
I actually apologize to anyone who has to watch.
Yeah,
things.
I'm not very good at this game. Ben's an expert. I only played it when I was little. I don't remember much about it. We're just chilling out and playing it. For those who are listening to the audio, this isn't like a let's play or anything like that. You really can get away to just listening to this. We just figured, like, when Ben and I play games together, when we're not recording, it's usually a really good conversation. And, you know, we have some good banter thrown out there and stuff. So we thought, why not actually just do the same thing, chill out and play games like we used to, but whack it on record, put the Cult to Yourself logo on it, and pretend that we're making content. So that's pretty much the plan.
We basically do that anyway. Like, we pretend a lot.
That's true, we do.
We put on our big boy pants. We're like, I'm a big boy. I'm making stuff.
That's right.
Big boy.
But, yeah, Ben, your Age of Empires 2 experience. Did you play this a lot as a kid? Because I swear everyone got this out of a cereal box.
No.
And just played it all the time.
So this wasn't the cereal box one. This is the one that came after that. The cereal box one was the OG Age of Empires, and I did get it out of a Nutrigrain box, I remember. Because at the start I was like, oh, what the fuck? Out of a Nutrigrain box? Like, I've only ever had, like pinball games and shit come out of these. I remember got, like, Monsters, Inc. Pinball was one that came out there at one stage. So, like, that was a big one I enjoyed for a while there. But, no, I didn't get this one out of the cereal box. I played the first one that did come out of the cereal box and was a big fan. But, yeah, once this one came out, it kind of took over for me.
Yeah, no, those were the days, though, when you get games out of cereal boxes, man. Actually, now that I think about it, I think it was Age of Mythology that we got out of a cereal box. We had Age of Empires 1 back when Dad used to like playing games and stuff. And then I'm pretty sure someone...
Dad was cool.
Yeah, I know, right? He liked his video games. What a legend. He used to like Need for Speed 2. Not Need for Speed Underground 2, but Need for Speed 2, which is a game that came out in like 1998. Used to play the crap out of that. And some mum and dad used to play this game. It was the Titanic, the game. It was like a murder mystery, though.
Oh, wow.
And they used to have this actual notebook that they filled out with notes trying to figure out who the killer was and stuff. I don't think they ever finished it. But
That's
I remember
actually incredible.
Them play that.
I'm a big fan of that the two of them like had this game that they both played.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I think that's probably the only game that they ever played together. But yeah, back in the day. Know that. And then someone pirated Age of Empires 2 for them when it came out. I can't remember who it was. It was like this burnt disc. It's like, yeah, so we're really supporting Microsoft and the forever fruitful franchise that Age of Empires has been. But hey, I own the game now, so, you know. Alrighty.
Yeah, no, I didn't know your parents were gamers kind of thing. Well, like, not gamers, but they kind of played games together and they were both interested to some degree. Like, I didn't realize that was your family.
That was pretty much the extent of it, though. Like, and I was very little at the time. I don't remember them ever playing games past there. But, yeah, no, Dad used to play the old Need for Speed 2 and Titanic, and that was pretty much it. And I think he tried Halo 2 once when I first got my original Xbox. But,
just didn't pick it up?
Nah, I don't... Oh, no, actually, he loved to play the V8 Supercars game on it, because he was really into motor racing and stuff. He used to play the crap out of that, now that I remember. Yeah. So, yeah, Dad's always played a bit. Mum, not so much. I think it always made her, like, motion sick. So...
You should get her on some VR, then that'd be hilarious. That'd be a good video.
That would be a good video. Mum listens to the podcast, so if you're interested in playing some VR games, Mum, let me know. I'll record you, and you can be on the internet.
Let me know. Hit me up. You got my deets. You know where I am.
Hit up your boy. You can follow me on Twitter at NotSamWise. Cheeky plug.
Cheeky plug.
Oh, man. Yeah. Did either of your parents ever play any games, or?
So, like, not until kind of I started playing games did Dad play at all. Like, I was kind of the one who started playing games when I got the Game Boy Advance was my first kind of station that I actually owned. I played a little bit of, like, the 64 with family and things like that, but never enough that it was, like, going to be impactful on me starting to play games and shit like that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and so, like, I got the DS, on the DS, God, that's a while.
Yeah, jeez, you started late, yeah.
Shit. Oh, I've got a texture pack on. I keep forgetting where everything's going. Yeah, so I had the Game Boy Advance, and I played, like, Yoshi's Island, and that was one that definitely stuck out to me. The original Harry Potter, that was pretty great. I really enjoyed playing it. And there was just, like, a heap of just basic kind of easy games that I played there for a long time. And then I got the PlayStation 1 for a little bit. We got it off a family friend.
Oh, yeah.
And that's kind of when I first started, like, really getting into games. Like, I played the absolute shit out of Spyro. Played a fair bit of Crash Bandicoot. Really enjoyed Toy Story Racer. It's probably my favorite racer game to date, simply because of nostalgia now. But I really, really enjoyed it.
I've never actually played it. How does it hold up to Sega and Sonic All-Stars Racing?
It obviously doesn't really hold up to anything at all whatsoever. Like, it's definitely nostalgia strings just kind of being pulled there completely. But no, I loved that, and I played a ton of it. That and Toy Story 2, the actual story game, like the movie game, was phenomenal. Big fan of it. We'll have to get it. Oh, I think I've got them actually here on Aiden's PlayStation 3, because I remember I bought them. And so next time you're down, we'll have a game of them.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good, actually.
I need to relive my childhood.
Yeah, I've never played any of those games, so I'd actually be pretty down for that.
Yeah, so, like, that was cool. That was, like, something I started to play mainly. But, no, like, my main birth into it, I'd say, with PlayStation 2. Like, I started to really get into gaming with PlayStation 1. But, like, we always got the consoles away after, which didn't worry me at all. But, yeah, PlayStation 2, we amassed a huge collection between me and my sisters, and that's when Dad actually started to play a couple games here and there. He played something like the CODs. He played the Wrath of the Titans, whatever it was. No, Crash of the Titans with me. We played through that together. We played through a game called Army of Two.
Oh, yeah, I remember Army of Two, yeah.
Yeah, we played through this one's called Conflict, the Conflict series, where you're basically just like soldiers in a form of war, and you've just got to do basic soldier shit and, you know, beat someone or kill someone or whatever. You know, like the classic kind of feel to those games.
Yeah, that's it.
But yeah,
good
so
times.
that were them, like, the start of that now. And, yeah, now out of all games, Dad actually plays a fair bit of Terraria.
Oh, Terraria. I thought you said something totally different then. I was like, oh, Terraria. Yeah, I've never played Terraria. I don't really know a whole lot about it, actually. But,
It's pretty cool.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, so it's kind of weird. Like, my PC gaming... Oh, no, sorry. My gaming history, I guess, kind of started on the PC. It started with the Nintendo 64, but I didn't really start playing a lot myself until we'd gotten rid of the Nintendo 64 because my sister and I fought over it all the time. And then, so I just started playing games on the PC. Need for Speed 2 being one of those first games that I remember really getting into. And there's like, if you did the knockout tournament, I remember no one could ever win it. So you'd go through all 12 races, and every race, whoever lost would get knocked out. So there'd be less and less computers to race against. So by the 12th one, it was just you and one other car as this blue McLaren. It was always this blue McLaren that you'd have to race. And none of us could ever beat it. I don't know if any of us ever did. If any of us ever won that last track. But yeah, there you go. I remember we would do that all the time. Dad was right into it. And then we got the original Xbox, because I begged my parents for that. Yeah, that was always a good time. My sister had the game of... Did you ever watch Alias? The show Alias?
No, what's that?
It's a James... Oh, I was about to say James Cameron show. It's a J.J. Abrams show. Movie. It's about spies. I can't remember the name of the main chick. She has red hair. The character's name is Sydney. I can't remember the actor's name. But yeah, there was this show that ran for ages. This spy show in the early 2000s. It was really popular, actually. I'm surprised you haven't heard of it. I guess it helped that I had an older sibling to know about it. But yeah, she had that game. It was really cool. I used to love watching her play that. And then, the old Halo 2. I loved the classic movie Robots. I loved playing the game of that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I feel like I played that somewhere, like a small amount, or watched someone play it at some stage.
Probably, yeah.
I used to love that movie.
That was always a good time.
Did you guys have a huge, kind of movie collection? Like, just DVDs over time?
Yeah, we got there eventually. We were pretty late on the old DVD player bust, I think. But yeah, we amassed a few. We had a massive VCR collection of just, Disney movies and stuff. That's where all my Disney knowledge comes from. But, yeah, not so much for DVDs, I guess. We were big renters. We'd usually rent our DVDs and
okay. See, you've got that option, I guess, because we were the small town kind of thing.
Yeah.
We didn't really have that option of doing much renting or anything of the sort, so we would often just buy them, if we were, good or whatever. Good. You were good in the shops or whatever, you'd get a movie or something.
Yeah.
But we did have VCRs. That was my, early childhood. But we never... I don't remember buying them, but I guess I could have been too young to. But no, we had a huge DVD collection. I think we still do. We've got a big container at home. They're all living in there somewhere.
I think I remember the first movie I ever bought for myself. It was either... I can't remember. It was whichever one came out first between the Nickelodeon movie Barnyard or good old Transformers 1, the first Transformers movie. Either one of those two was the first movie I ever bought for myself.
Fucking Barnyard.
Hey, it's a good movie. This sings Johnny Cash, a cow singing Johnny Cash and playing the guitar. I don't think he sings Hurt. That's a bit much for a kid movie. But
I'll have to show you. There's a really good video on the internet out there somewhere of that scene where he's singing that, and they just kind of mixed it up, and it just sounds awful kind of thing. It's really funny now.
There you go. I hurt myself today.
What a deep moment.
What a great trailer song though. Man, the Logan trailer's good. I love that movie.
Good segue onto that. Yeah, no. It's definitely one of my favorite movies of all time. I just had that recently, actually, at work.
Really?
I'm always busy.
Of all time?
Yeah, it's one of my favorites, I think.
Dang. It's a really good movie. I don't know if it's up there for one of my favorites of all time. I've only seen it the one time, though. Well, I probably need to watch it again to make that judgment. Actually, something I made that judgment with recently is Inception. Dear God, that is a good movie. Christopher Nolan's probably my favorite director. Oh my God, Inception is good.
That is very fair.
Because
a good movie.
It was the first time I'd watched Inception since it came out. This is 2 weeks ago, if that. I was dang, I didn't realize in 2010 just how good it was. Perfect.
Yeah, no, it is a good movie. No, I chose Logan because, we both really like superhero movies and shit, and it's kind of the epitome of what I want out of one. And so I was
definitely.
I can't really think of any that kind of holds even a flame to what this is, in terms of what I want, translating a gruesome comic book into a movie. And it's obviously not going to be perfect. There's people out there that are going to be oh, this is not the greatest one ever. This, and this. But for me, that's what I want when I watch a movie like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of glad they're not all like that. I like the ones where you can just tune out as well and just have fun with it. like most of the Marvel movies and stuff like that. I like being able to just tune out and chill with it. But it is good to have a good serious one every now and then. Like The Dark Knight is also one of the best movies ever made, I think. That movie is it's brilliant. But also Christopher Nolan, so that helps. But yeah, no, Logan's not a bad one.
Not a bad one. I'm sensing a little bit of doubt in my assumptions there, but that's
I'm
fine.
pretty sure good old Venom might be the best movie of all time, though.
Venom.
Have you seen? I can't take myself seriously.
No.
Have you seen the trailer for it?
Yeah, see, like that's my Exhibit A. I want something serious.
It is a serious looking movie. They're trying way too hard to be serious though, and that's very evident. They're trying really hard to be edgy, and it doesn't. The first trailer when I saw that, I was like, this movie doesn't look bad. I'm gonna be optimistic. Like I liked the Amazing Spider-Man movies. I don't hate Sony making movies like a lot of people seem to. Like it might not be bad. And then this new trailer came out, and I'm a bit like. I don't know if you've seen the newest trailer for it, Ben, but the way Tom Hardy speaks, he sounds kind of like he's trying to do a bad Christopher Walken impression like we do. And
surely not. That's a bit of a stretch, isn't it?
It could just be the way it's cut. But you know how when I do that really shitty Walken impression, my speech pattern, like, and my sentences and stuff, they're really broken up and far apart? Like, he's talking that exact same way. It's, that seemed a bit weird. The suit looks really strange, and it looks like the main villain is just another Venom. It's not Carnage, the cool other Venom.
Oh, is it?
It's this other one, and it looks like the big fight is just two CGI blobs running into each other, and you couldn't distinguish between the two of them. It looks a bit iffy.
So Blob 1 says to Blob 2, eh?
So I'm gonna take your mother out for a steak dinner, never call her again.
Weird accent on Anchorman? Question mark. Well,
I totally forgot that quote's actually from Anchorman, to be honest. What?
Well, the public don't.
I can't remember that guy's name either in that movie. The sports dude. Champ something.
Champ
Kind. That's his name. Yeah.
That's it.
If you want to talk about good comedies, I reckon that's one of the golden age for comedy movies. That kind of Judd Apatow like streak where he just made hit after hit.
I
love all of those movies.
Director. He just knows how to make a funny movie.
But does he do anything anymore? Like, what are some of the last things he's done? I have no idea. I feel like comedy movies lately just haven't been as good as like back then.
But like, I'm lucky because I've got like Aiden and Cardi, like my roommates, are very much big fans of him. So I get to watch the stuff that he does just because they're there and they know what's going on. But otherwise, I would have no idea. Like, I'd definitely be like kind of out of it and not up with it, not up and hip with it. And I can't remember what he's done recently, but there was something that we were watching, but it was really good. Like, it kind of felt like one of his movies.
Yeah, right. Okay. I mean, I feel like one of the last comedies I saw that I really liked that isn't also like a Marvel movie or something like that, that are kind of a comedy as well, is probably What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, yeah.
That movie is so good. I love that movie a lot. By good old Taika Waititi.
He's got made a name for himself real quick.
Yeah, it really has. He made a couple of small New Zealand films, and then Marvel's like, hey, make Thor. Everyone loves Thor, and then he just won't stop now. Apparently he's making a movie about Hitler now, a comedy about Hitler, so we'll see how that goes in 2018. But,
interesting.
Yeah.
I guess it's a wait and see.
I guess
I
so.
trust him, though.
I mean, comedies about Hitler is kind of a done thing, not successfully done, but like, I don't know if you've seen on Netflix, there are a bunch of comedy movies about Hitler where it's like, oh, hey, we have Hitler in the modern day. That's a funny situation, and we'll see what happens. And the movie turns out to be really horrible.
Hey, horrible for you, maybe.
But the Germans love it.
Yeah, no, they really like appropriation of one of their leaders that did nothing wrong. What a really funny and well-used joke.
And if you want to yell at Ben and get him fired for his job for saying something like that, like it seems people are having that done to them lately, you can find him on Thunder Crashes and pull up some bad tweets.
Yeah, right. You've managed to segue it, even though like you're getting your ass raped at Age of Empires.
Yeah, I only just advanced to the next age. I have not been focused on this whatsoever.
No, I mean, let's be honest here, just letting everyone know. This is about the level Sam was at when we last played anyway, and he was fully focused, so...
Well, yeah. I was playing one, it might have been yesterday. Or it might have been the day before. I was either waiting for you to do something, like to come into a chat or something, or I was waiting for Alex. I think I was waiting to play Fortnite with Alex. I was waiting to play Fortnite with Alex, and Fortnite was updating. So I fired up a Age of Empires single-player game, and I got to tell you, man, I was on fire. I had to end the game because Fortnite updated and we were ready to play, but, like, I didn't even have an army yet, but my economy was killing the enemy. So technically I won. I'm pretty sure it was on, like, easy difficulty.
Welcome to Age of Empires. I don't even know what I want these two values technicality. Congratulations.
That's it. So I don't even know the end game to this game. I can't remember how to win. When I played this as a kid, all I'd do was put in the cheats, get all the cars that had guns on them, and drive them around and shoot stuff. Like,
yeah, you seem like one of those kids.
Every kid was one of those kids. Come on.
No way. I was a Furious the Monkey Boy kid.
You're a what?
You did what in his cup?
Yeah, he did what in his cup?
No, Furious the Monkey Boy. Strong little monkey dude. When he died, he like fell forward and his head fell off.
No, poor kid.
That's the way to go.
What did his mum say about
it? You stupid idiot. You
stupid idiot. What a nice eulogy that would have been. He was a stupid idiot and a big dumb.
Yeah, well, if I have anything to say about your eulogy, like that's probably what's going to be said.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you have any objections?
No, I want my eulogy to just be a tweet. Can someone put out a tweet when I die?
What the fuck,
that's it?
King Edward? Ah, shite.
What did King Edward do? Is he advanced to the next 1,000 ages? Because
Basically.
I'm still just in the second age and really not concentrating on what I'm doing at all. If your current employer, Ben, were to search your Twitter, would you lose your job?
No, I mean, look, as some people might know, I'm still struggling to work that platform out.
Yeah, I don't think you've even made a tweet. I think you're pretty safe.
How do you twet?
How do you tweet?
Who sees my twets?
Everyone can see your twets, but you have to make a tweet first. He's like, oh, how does this @ button work? Ben's pretty Twitter illiterate, but to be fair, it's a pretty different social network to most other ones. But
something I missed me with that Twitter shit.
Yeah, but it's so handy and networking and stuff. But yeah, anyway, someone who has used Twitter...
Sam doesn't like the fact that I'm not on Twitter.
Yeah, that's right. But someone who hasn't used Twitter quite correctly and probably doesn't like the fact that he's on there himself is good old James Gunn, Ben. And I'm sure you've heard about all of the controversy involving him lately, pretty much. Losing his job with Guardians of the Galaxy. He's been fired there, Ben. He's not allowed to make Guardians of the Galaxy 3 because of tweets that he put out around 10 years ago, which he did apologize for at the time as well. Someone decided to pull up all of his old tweets, which apparently, I was listening to a podcast, they dug up the tweets themselves and went to see how far they had to go to find them. Apparently James Gunn tweets a lot, and it took them hours just to get back that far.
Oh, I wouldn't do it for a second.
Yeah, this guy had to put hours into it, just trying to find some of these tweets, which were horrible tweets. Admittedly, they were horrible jokes. They were jokes, but they were horrible jokes about, like, pedophilia and stuff like that. But it seems that he's a changed man, and all the casts of Guardians of the Galaxy have all said that, like, you know, he is a changed man. He's one of the best directors I've worked for. He's a really kind guy. He shouldn't have got fired. But hey, he done been fired. And what do you think of that, Ben?
Well, initially I was kind of on the side of, I guess, maybe the general public. I don't know. I haven't really seen enough of how people have reacted to this. But, yeah, initially I was just thinking, like, this makes sense. Like, Disney to fire someone over these kind of tweets, like, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But as I listened to things and I read more and I kind of learnt more about it, I found out that on numerous occasions, for a start, he has apologized. Like, he's apologized a lot on 3 separate occasions, I think it was. Explained that it was a different time. It was also in a back and forth with other people. Like, there's a lot to go around when, like, going over this, I guess. Like, there's a lot to take in. I found out that he'd apologized that many times, which makes it feel a bit ridiculous that he was actually fired because of this.
Yeah.
But yeah, what are your thoughts on it?
I think it's a bit ridiculous that he's been fired as well, because even before it blew up and before it was a controversy, years and years ago, he apologized for all this stuff, and he hasn't put out any tweets like that in the 8 to 10 years since then. So I think just on face value, it seems like he's a changed man. and he's not doing that kind of stuff anymore. So I think it's a shame that he... Oh, no, I don't have enough wood! I think it's a shame that he is kind of the victim of a witch hunt with this, I guess. But it seems like the general public is kind of on his side for it. But yeah, Disney seems a bit hypocritical with it, I think, when they have people like Robert Downey Jr. and Johnny Depp, who are very famous actors of them and lead actors especially of two of their biggest franchises in Pirates of the Caribbean and the Marvel stuff. Well, like Johnny Depp admitted wife beater. He's hit his wife and stuff like that. Very abusive. Yeah, and he admitted for it. I'm pretty sure he got convicted for it. Like, not where he had to go to jail, but like he had to obviously pay fines and stuff like that, and compensate his wife. But yeah, he's been found guilty of that. And then someone like Johnny Depp, who admittedly is struggling with addiction. I mean, not Johnny Depp, Robert Downey Jr., who was admittedly struggling with addiction and stuff, but he's like been done for not countless, but a few DUIs and stuff like that, and putting like the public in danger with stuff like that. It was just absolutely stupid.
Yeah, but do you think those actions, like obviously like beating someone is horrid, and I didn't realize that he'd actually accepted that and admitted he'd done that, but
I don't know if he's admitted it, but he's definitely, I'm pretty sure he was found guilty of it. Okay. So,
but these seem to be a bit more like severe, like these tweets, like in a joke or not, like if you find it funny or not. Like there's a conversation I was listening to where it's someone's duty, I guess, to find comedy in certain things, and like for a lot of people, there's like no taboo in it. For example, they had the Rob Williams like past stand-up comedy specials and things like that, right?
Yeah.
And he said some awful things, some awfully racist things, some awful just sexist things and stuff like that, like way above what's been said, right?
Yeah.
But he will forever be immortalized by Disney, forever, because he's dead. Like, you can't, for a start, you can't really, do anything to a dead man. But this icon is also already being, like, sent to the Hall of Fame. But you've got Robbie Williams. You've got Robin Williams, who...
Robbie Williams, the hit Disney star.
Yeah, look, so they've got Robbie Williams. Fucking Jesus, I've done it again. Robin Williams, he's going to be immortalized for Disney forever, I guess. And, like, you can't really change what a dead man's done. And they'll argue that's just what his comedy was then. But he did it in the name of comedy, which seems to give people, like, a scapegoat, if that makes sense. Like, if you're doing it for comedy, it seems to be fine, which doesn't make any sense. Because this was meant to be comedy for James Gunn's case. And as you said, you've got so many people who have come out and said that he's not someone who's like this and would never do anything like this. Like, it is all in like the name of comedy. So, like, where do you draw the line there when you got so much support for him?
No one's supporting saying that it was in the name of comedy. I haven't seen anyone support it that way.
Oh no, but like that's the joke. Like, it was never something that was serious.
Yeah, it was a joke, but the consensus that I've seen is that it was a horrible joke that shouldn't have been made. Everyone seems to be saying that.
Oh, yeah, but, like, is that not the, I guess, duty of people who are comedians to try and push those boundaries?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's all part of the art of comedy and stuff. Like, I don't know, like, I definitely don't think the firing was justified for it.
That's kind of what I'm getting at, I guess.
I think this day and age, now there's going to be people who are just going to trawl through anyone that don't like Twitter and trying to get them fired. They're like, hey, this worked for someone. Let's try and do this to whoever we want. And that's kind of the dangers of social media at the moment.
That way.
And like, oh, we found out how to get people who were not directly related to it all fired. So we're in like a kind of age now where you're kind of walking on eggshells at all times, especially on social media, because you don't know how people are going to take anything that you're going to say.
Yeah, and like people have also brought up the fact that, like, why wasn't he fired earlier? Like, why was this not something that was brought to attention earlier? And it makes sense though, because Marvel is only slowly being, I guess, integrated with Disney. It's like, it makes sense that it's taken this kind of long.
Marvel was integrated with Disney well before Guardians of the Galaxy came out.
Yes, but they weren't seen primarily as a Disney feature prior to that. Like, they were slowly bringing their name in and their influence, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's true. But I feel like Disney would have known about the tweets well before they hired him, because...
No doubt.
Because there are articles all about it and stuff, and obviously, like, any employee researchers who they're going to employ on the internet, they would have known about it. They would have known that he apologized, but once that's out there in the public, they just kind of backflip on that from them saying, hey, no, it was all good that happened, and you apologize for it and stuff, to, oh my god, I just killed a monk, to like, oh, Nate, now I'm sorry, but you have to go. Like, I think it's ridiculous. And now Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which was written by James Gunn. I hope they don't make too many script changes, and I really hope whoever ends up directing it can do it well, because those movies are fantastic. It's, yeah, I don't know. And then some comedians will say similar things and seemingly get a pass for it, like Dave Chappelle. He makes jokes about rape and stuff like that. And then, like, especially, like, even in his latest comedy specials and stuff, some of them are good jokes too. But, like, I'm not saying that rape jokes are okay, but I think there's a right way to do controversial jokes. But, like, he gets a pass no matter what he says. Like, some comedians are just, like...
Yeah. Like, it seems untouchable for what they can say. Like, they can just say anything and do whatever they want.
That's exactly right. So it's very hypocritical from Disney, and I think just...
Yeah,
just the general public.
Like, there'd be very few people that would, like, have this kind of support come out for them as well, like, in conjunction with all of the, like, allegations.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, do you reckon there'll be any instance where he's kind of brought back on? Or do you think this is, like, this is an absolute thing?
No, I think there's no chance of Disney hiring them, because They might want to rehire him, but they got to save face. They can't make anyone else who they've fired think, hey, maybe they'll rehire me. Like, you can't have anyone, because then you might hire another director. For example, Joss Whedon, who has said some controversial things. If he were to be involved with Marvel again, and he were to say something controversial, like, he'd feel like it's safe to say something controversial now, because he will just get rehired again. I think that, they're probably going to keep him fired. That's probably what they have to do. I think that's pretty much everything that there is to be said about Guardians of the Galaxy. James Gunn. I just really hope that the next movie is good. The last one was really good. The first one was fantastic.
Do we know when we're going to find out who's doing it, or what's going to be done with it?
No, I don't think they even know, because it was due to start recording. It was due to start filming like 2 weeks after this whole thing happened. Like, they were just about to start filming. So I doubt, because they were so close to starting filming, they were pretty set with him being a part of it, you know? So it's probably going to take a while to find a new director. They're probably going to use his script. I don't see them not using his script, but...
they've got, like, the winning formula with him, so...
Yeah, they probably won't give him writing credits. They might change it enough where they don't have to give him a credit, but... I'll be honest, I have no intention to actually fix my village and keep helping you. I am done.
Yeah, thanks, man.
So, I haven't played many strategy games, Ben. I don't know if you have, but as far as strategy games go, what's the best out there? Is Civ definitively the best, or is there, like, the Rome games, or Total War games, or whatever, or...
You can't really do that. Like, it's like when you have the COD versus Battlefield debate. It's what you like.
Oh, definitely COD, hey. But, yeah, no, that's fair enough. Like, are they any different? I just don't understand how you could do something different in a strategy game. As someone who doesn't play them, I'm pretty ignorant to it all, obviously.
Well, like, yeah, like, I know what you mean there by saying that, but yeah, like, they're definitely different. Like, you definitely like, have different elements you need to look at for each kind of game. Like, for this strategy game, you've got the managing of, like, your resources, your army, diplomacy too, if that's your kind of thing, food, while battling on multiple places if you need to, things like that. Like, it's relatively simple. But on the other hand, you've got a game like Civ, where you need to be looking at, like, your religion, your social status, each like city, just, like, again, a lot more, and it seems to have been, like, expanded upon from this game. Then there's, like, thousands of other games like Cusack and like a lot that I haven't played, a lot that I don't know much about.
What the hell is Cusack?
Cusick, I don't know if that's what you, like, how you say it, but it's just a game where you do basically the same kind of thing as this, I guess. That's the easiest way I can describe it.
Right.
I've always liked a good strategy game.
I like playing this and stuff to a certain extent, but then once I realize the enemy is way bigger than I am and destroying me, I just lose all motivation. I like the beginning of it. I like making my town... Jesus Christ. I like the beginning of it. I like making my town and stuff like that and getting my resources up. But then when it comes to planning an army to fight...
other people are better at me.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. At the moment, my farmers are tending to farms that are on fire, so... but yeah, I like that part of it. Like, I like the Sim City part of it. Why don't we play Sim City, Ben? Can we play...
I have Sim City. I have City Skylines.
I really want Sim City, actually. I haven't played that since probably 3rd grade. I remember I had a teacher named Mr. Finn, He had a computer in his class, and at lunch we'd get to play it, and we'd either play Bubble Trouble or SimCity.
Oh, Bubble Trouble was the tits.
Yeah, it was. If two people wanted to play, if two people were begging for it, we'd play Bubble Trouble.
Yeah.
But if it was just one person who wanted to go on the computer at recess or something like that, it was SimCity. And that was the goods.
You know, I got around that game. Did you ever play when you were at school, like, cool maths games? Was that where you guys went to, like, play your games?
Yeah, of course. Cool maths games, there was another one. They had all the mini-clip games, but it wasn't mini-clip.
Yeah, because you couldn't go on anything on the school server. Like, everything was, like, banned or outlawed or whatever.
Yeah, that's it. So, cool maths games, yeah.
Cool.
And then you play all the stuff that's on mini-clip anyway, because it's all on there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we always liked stuff like that. Or I remember this is year 7. I had Halo 1 on a USB, and that was, for some reason, like most video games that are on PC, you can't just transfer files onto USB and then just put the USB into another computer and it'll run. Yeah, no worries. But like Halo 1, for some reason, there was just no DRM on it whatsoever. So you could just whack that game on a USB, plug it into another computer, just copy the files, and it was ready to go. Didn't care about CD keys or anything like that. It was just ready to go. Yeah, right. So I had it on a USB. We put it on every computer in the school library, except we hid it. Like, we made a bunch of folders and hid it somewhere.
Yeah.
And I don't think the IT department at my primary school was... They either didn't care or they just weren't very savvy if anyone was doing that kind of thing.
I'm going to say this now. I can almost guarantee that the IT people know about it. Like, I don't think that's something that can be debated. I think they know, and they probably more than likely did something similar themselves. And so we're just whatever.
They weren't really like an IT department at every school, though, where they're trained for that kind of thing. They were just some people who knew a little bit about computers. That school, like, to put it into context, most of the teachers weren't qualified for what they were teaching at all. Like, we had a PE teacher who hadn't even done science past high school teaching us science because they couldn't afford to get a science teacher and stuff like that. So the IT department was one person. I think it was an old lady, actually. I think it was the librarian. So, yeah, who knew a little bit about how to get a computer to run and stuff, but I don't think they monitored anything that we were doing.
Oh, yeah, but, like, think about
anything
how
like that.
It would be
it's just some servers or blocks.
Complete, like, kind of game amongst folders on a system.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't sound very hard, but knowing how the school was, I don't really know if she would have been able to. But, or would have bothered to. She was a little more focused on the books, I think, in the library, but making sure no one was smuggling in Harry Potter, because that was witchcraft and banned and evil.
It is witchcraft and banned and evil.
Yeah, of course.
Abandon
Harry
everything
Potter.
that's evil.
Yeah, that's right. Don't get into the Harry Potter, kids. It's like heroin.
I went to
it's like the
Christian school
drugs.
as well, but I think it's hilarious that yours was teaching you to, like, not fucking read Harry Potter.
Yeah, we weren't allowed Harry Potter, Yu-Gi-Oh!
Devil Monsters.
Pokemon was allowed for some reason. How that's different to Yu-Gi-Oh! I have no idea, but I don't think they ever put that much thought into it. Yeah, stuff like that. That was all banned. But yeah, we were allowed Chronicles of Narnia, Lord of the Rings, because apparently the guys who wrote those were Christians, so that's okay.
Yeah, J.R. Tolkien is heavy Christian.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Like, there's a bunch of Christian metaphors and stuff throughout Lord of the Rings. C.S. Lewis was a devout Christian as well, and there's a bunch of that stuff in Narnia. But, like, as far as fiction goes, I don't see how it's different to Harry Potter and stuff like that. I'm being attacked by a wild animal.
Is that the worst of your problems?
It actually is the worst of my problems.
What's left of me?
My farm is on fire. Okay, it's okay. I killed the animal.
Just have a quick glance.
Yeah, so
have a quick glance, like, just here.
For the audio listeners, to put that into context, there is an entire navy just shooting at Ben, whereas I just had a wild animal. I like how you're making an army around my little village there. Or actually, you're just making a few walls. But yeah, no, like, all that stuff was banned. That I don't know how much thought they put into what should be allowed at the school and what shouldn't, but yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yu-Gi-Oh! No. Pokemon, fine. Harry Potter, no. Lord of the Rings, fine. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, we would all play Halo 1 on the computers and stuff.
So we did the exact same thing. We had it on a folder there somewhere, and you could play all of them. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. That was a good time. Trackmania was another one that would play. Because the teacher had that as well.
Did you guys ever listen to music at school through, like a random kind of third-party torrenting music site?
No, we did not. That doesn't sound too bad, but No, I'm sure if we were caught listening to music, that'd get shut down straight away.
Yeah, probably the devil's music. That's what you'd listen to, right?
Well, no one was allowed to have phones or iPods at the school or anything. So, like, if you had earphones, clearly you would have either a phone or an iPod with you anyway. So if you're going to be listening to music on the computer, you're going to have earphones, which is going to make people think that you have a phone on you. And so no, we never really did any of that. I remember because Ben and I, we went to the same high school, getting there at different years. But when I went to that high school from my primary school, and which was also a high school, I did year 7 there as well. When I went to the second high school that Ben and I both went to, and you're allowed to have a phone, and you're allowed to listen to music in class sometimes, and you're allowed to do all that. Oh man, that was next level stuff. I'm like, wow, this school's awesome. I can get my iPod out and not get beat into 10 years ago.
I'll beat you back to the past.
No, I never got beat at school. Our punishment was you had to sit at the wall at recess, and Mum, being the office worker at the school, if I ever got in trouble and had to sit on the wall, and the wall was right in front of the office, could never hide that I got into trouble from her.
That's funny. You can never hide anything from mums anyway. I'm sure we've all learnt that.
Mums know all, yeah.
Can you send me a bit more wood?
Yeah, sure, man. My whole village is burning down. I'll just send you some wood.
Your whole village? You've got like 3 people attacking you.
Yep, then I have no one to fight back. Oh no, they're not attacking me. They only attacked the buildings you put up there.
You know, I want you to keep playing this game so you can get better, because I wouldn't mind playing this with you when you knew what was going on again.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Instead, it's a bit hard when the only game that we ever play ever is Overwatch.
Hey, you take that back.
And we're still addicted to that, but, you know.
Would you go as far to say as that Overwatch is getting to the point where it's like the most addictive game that you've played? It's starting to push that for me, I think, after Modern Warfare 2. Because it was my OG one.
No, I think Halo 3 and Halo Reach and Modern Warfare 3 had more of a grip on me than Overwatch does. I enjoy playing Overwatch way more than Modern Warfare 3, and especially that competitive aspect of it. But like, I don't know, back in the day, all I would ever want to do is play Halo, whereas I'm very happy to play different games. Even though we still play a lot of Overwatch, I'm still very happy to play different games. Like, I play a lot of stuff on my Xbox when we're not playing Overwatch on our PC, like single player games, stuff like that. But like back in those days, that's all I would do. Just Halo and Modern Warfare 3, so...
Yeah, right.
Oh, actually, that's not true. I did play a lot of single-player games back then. I don't know.
I think still, I just think Overwatch is starting to get to that point for me, where it's probably one of the more addictive, or probably getting other towards the line, one that I've wanted to play the most. It's one I would say that's probably held the grip on me the most, in the fact that, like, I played a ton of Modern Warfare 2, was still impartial, and was, like, keen to play other games. Like, I was really enjoying playing all the single-player games at the time. Whereas this one, I'm kind of like, I could play that, or I could probably keep playing Overwatch, like... It's a bit ridiculous, but...
If I think about it, like, Modern Warfare 2 was only out for a year, right? Whereas we've been playing Overwatch for 2.
Modern Warfare 2 was only out for a year?
Yeah, CODs were annualized. So Modern Warfare 2 was the current COD for 1 year, and then Black Ops came out, which I'm sure you got on Black Ops as soon as that came out, right?
Oh, yeah, no, sorry. I did not understand what you were trying to say at all then.
Yeah, no, you're right. So, that would have only had a hold on you for a year. Whereas, like, yeah, we've been playing Overwatch for twice that, a bit over twice that. We've been playing it for over 2 years now, because we both got it day one.
Yeah.
So, we've played it at least once a week since then. So, yeah, geez, actually, I suppose Overwatch is the multiplayer game that I've played the most now.
Yeah, and the one that's, like, kept me interested for longer. Like, for long enough, sorry.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it helps that, like, stuff like the Overwatch League is so big. And that's so entertaining to watch as well. It's just kind of, like, always there. And a lot of the streamers that I watch play a lot of Overwatch. And, well, actually, not a lot of the streamers, but yeah. The only other multiplayer game I play is Fortnite. And that's only ever on a stream, really.
Yeah.
Or occasionally if my housemates want to play, so...
I really play Fortnite anymore, either. Like, it's not something that gripped me as much as it's gripped a lot of people. Like, it's a great game, don't get me wrong. And it's super impressive how they've done it, what they've gone and done with the game, but yeah, it just doesn't grip me as much. I really enjoyed the save the world aspect, actually, the part of the game that basically doesn't exist. Like, for a lot of people, it's like that weird little section of the game that you click off before you go into Battle Royale.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, no, I never played Save the World. I'd play a lot more Fortnite if I were good at it, but...
And, yeah, with Fortnite, I think that's like one weird trend that I've seen with games in the last couple of years, right? Where they bring out a game or an idea of a game, and slowly over time they develop it, and it's kind of shown that what they initially set out to do isn't what it's going to end up being. Like, Fortnite came out as Save the World, right? It was just this weird kind of storm-based game trying to survive against the weird creatures that come out of it, basically, right? And you got to save survivors and move on and expand and whatnot. But because of the demand and how like the gaming industry changed so quickly now, they adapted and their platform really fit the Battle Royale spectrum, and so they made a Battle Royale game, and now that's what Fortnite is. Like that is Fortnite in a nutshell, right?
Yeah.
And then you see No Man's Sky again. No Man's Sky came out, promised all these things. It wasn't that, and weren't able to adapt or change anywhere near the speed they needed to. And now you can look at it now and you see what it is. Like they've come back and they've tried to adapt to the changes.
Well, they eventually made the game that they promised, and that came out this year instead of 2 years ago. But
what are your thoughts on that? Have you seen much about the new update they put out?
I've seen heaps about it, and I've watched a few people play it on Twitch and stuff like that, but I don't really care for it. At this point, it's too little too late. I'm not going to buy the game and play it.
If I get it for like $5 at some stage somewhere, maybe I might feel inclined to play it with a mate for a bit. Like, just that surviving and doing stuff together is always fun. Like, for me, that's the interest in these kind of games. Like, playing with friends is always something that I'll look at nearly over gameplay. Like, I obviously want to get a game that I'm going to enjoy, right? But I don't mind it. Like, I'll cop a game that I'm not having the greatest fun with to play with mates, because that's where the most fun for me comes out of.
Yeah, I really like that multiplayer aspect too. I think I mostly like a good story. Like, my favorite games to play is stuff like The Last of Us and Uncharted.
Yeah.
But I do like a good multiplayer session, and I really like, especially if it's a competitive multiplayer session, like ranked Overwatch. That, I don't know, for some reason that for me is the most addictive gameplay experience, and that's the one that grips me the most.
Well, I think that's the thing too. Like, the only way that you can make games replayable is if you have like an AI that basically thinks for itself, and then we've got robots at that stage, basically, yeah? Like, it's that's the only way we can make it constantly change. Or you put in the human aspect and that competitive aspect to bring you back. Like, otherwise there's nothing really that really brings you back to play. Like, yeah, you got people who play like Skyrim, thousands of hours, heaps of playthroughs, but it isn't a game you can play forever. Like, and I don't think it was ever intended to, whereas Overwatch probably was to an extent.
Oh, no, I remember when Skyrim came out, they marketed it as a game that you can play forever, because Todd Howard, he was like, yeah, so there's an endless amount of quests. You can't complete every quest in the game because they're randomly generated quests, except usually it's just a fetch quest. Like, they just generate an item. Like, if you've completed everything, it's like, hey, go and get this item for me. They just generate an item that has the same skin as before. But yeah, they're like, you can. Oh, I'm not saying the game is endlessly playable, but I just remember when they were marking it that way. Just like, yeah, you can play this game forever. If you finish all the quests, there'll be another one. It's like,
yeah, no, like, so I probably should add that. Yeah, beyond fetch quests, a game can't be infinite. Like,
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But I think it's interesting. It's interesting that's the kind of climate that we're in at the moment, where games are constantly being released as like alphas and betas, and then deciding what they're going to be after that.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that. No, I like to know what I'm going to get and what it's going to be.
I much prefer just having someone bring out a game, like a fully fleshed out game, and that's good to go, and moving on from there.
Yeah, that's definitely not the environment of games at the moment. At least on PC. On console, it's a little less that. It's hard to get early access and stuff like that.
Basically, with console, though, what you're getting is, if you get something that comes on a hard disk, like, that is safely assumed the finished product, right? Like, that's basically what you assume is going to be the game you're going to be playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, it's hard for PlayStation to do that, and so they don't really, but PC, there is the client for it. But yeah, I do much prefer where they just bring out a game and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, me too. But I mean, there are some games that are cool that are coming out that you see in early access that you can't play beforehand. Like Golf with Friends is a fun example, I suppose. I've played on stream a few times. That's early access. Actually, Battle Royale in Fortnite is still early access. Oh, there are some like fun little single player experience as well, like Hello Neighbor. That's it. Jesus.
Interesting.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm choking on my own air. Like, Hello Neighbor, that's not a full game yet. They brought that out early to show what it could be and what they can turn it into.
That's a bit different.
And that seems pretty cool.
But for me, like, that's not one where they brought it out because they wanted just to get this game out and change it was going. I think they brought it out so that they could see how people attack the problems and how they could develop the game to make it like more challenging and more fun for people. Because like the idea is you got to break into this guy's house and like go through everything, right? And I think all of that's like very dependent on like how you play the game, I guess. And so like that, like it kind of makes sense. They brought that out and they're like, oh, people get in this way. Let's make it so you have to do this instead. And it's like, for me, it feels a bit different. But yeah, it's not completely different, obviously.
Well, Ben, my village has seen a complete demise. Town hall's on fire. All of my villages are dead. I have no people left.
I just got defeated. Destroy your town center when you should lose.
No! That's the end of Sandtown.
I'm so invested.
Who saw that coming? Who saw that defeat coming, Ben?
No one really. Holy shit.
Whack that in the history books as King Edward's greatest victory.
There's a reason why they didn't
boy, was he an underdog.
Looking at it now is because to get to you, both yellow and green had to push through my base that I'd set up, and then blue was like, fuck it, I'm just going to go help those other guys, and left you to, like, chill out in your tiny, tiny corner.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that has been episode 3 of the Casual Cast, but as always, we have to do an improv outro. I hope you guys enjoyed the kind of little just chill out, play a game and chat aspect of it. We didn't plan anything to talk about beforehand, and this is just kind of what we regurgitated.
Well,
so
I think it's fun though. Like, people do enjoy just hearing people's thought trains. I hope this is something that they can get around, and I enjoy doing it.
Yeah, not all of our episodes are going to be like this. Just every now and then, we're just going to chill out and do a kind of laid back one. We still are going to have our structured episodes like you're used to in the last 2 episodes as well. But Ben, the improv outro will stick around as always. So what have you got for me today, mate?
But yeah, definitely, we need to keep doing these improv outros because I really like to see Sam struggle with the ones that I give him sometimes, and sometimes nail it. You never know how he's going to go with it, if he's going to pick up and run with it. But for this one, what we're going to do is we spoke about Overwatch for a little bit during that episode. And so what it's going to be happening is you've been talking to your mate Sam in the group chat prior to, and you've just joined a ranked game, and you've gone into the ranked game, and you've got a normal team. You've chosen your team, and you're saying, hey, I'm happy to play whatever character.
Am I with my mates?
Yes, they've just joined after, but this is when you've just joined quickly. It's 2-stack, and there's another 4-stack, and you're trying to get the 4-stack interested prior to the game starting. So you've got about 30 seconds after you've chose your heroes, so you've really got to push through and promote our channel to these 4 random people.
Well, Ben, I always kick off every Overwatch game that we enter into when we get into team chat in a couple of different ways. Usually I end up and go, hello there, because that's a Star Wars meme, and people like Star Wars of Obi-Wan Kenobi, and the correct people always answer, General Kenobi! Except in this case, probably no one did, and everyone just thinks I'm a random guy with a shitty British impression. That happens a lot of the time, but yeah, so I'm just like that. Hey guys, how do you guys like to win?
Oh, yeah, alright. I mean, I'd prefer.
What usually fuels your wins, guys? Like, what usually gets you there over the line?
I don't know, not shitty healers?
Yeah, well, not shitty healers. Well, I am a shitty healer, and I'm brought to you by Gatorade. And Gatorade is the #1 sports drink that can get you over the line to get you the win. This podcast isn't sponsored by it, but I'm sponsored by Gatorade, and I'm part of the hit pop culture podcast, Culture Yourself, which you can find on all podcast services. We like to give you little pep talks where you can listen to them just before the episode starts. Wait, episode starts? What? That doesn't make much sense at all. I'm crashing and burning here, Ben. I'm crashing and burning.
If you're not good at healing, can you change off? I don't give a shit about your podcast, man. I'm just playing Overwatch. I'm sick of it. Look, I'm going to leave for 15 seconds. I'm going to come back, and if you change your attitude, we'll keep playing.
Drops out of the game. That's an in-joke that only Ben, Alex, and I can understand. But
Look, I'm not going to put you through this anymore.
This is turning out horrible. Improv outros, we're good at
You've
them.
done well the last couple of weeks at least. Except for the fact that you didn't run out of breath at all while running across thousands of rooftops last week.
No, I did run out of breath.
Okay, whatever.
Like, not actually physically, but I'm pretty sure... Oh, no, maybe I was just putting sounds of me jumping over roofs. I don't know, I can't remember. I remember putting in some sounds. But that is absolutely the worst improv outro I've ever done. Yep. Well, thank you for listening to the... I was about to say the Casual Cast, holy shit. Well, thank you for listening to Culture Yourself. Sorry that was such a really crappy improv outro, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully we'll do better in the next fortnight. But you can find us on all podcast services fortnightly, as well as Twitch and YouTube, twitch.tv/BanterLab, where we'll stream different games as well.
Make sure you at me on Twitter, please. It's my favorite platform to be talked to at. I'll answer all your questions, and I post every day.
Yeah, definitely. Ben's very active on Twitter. You can see him at Joey Jojo Babadoo. You can find me at Not Samwise. You can also find us on Twitter at BanterLab, and if you're interested in NRL by any chance, you can find us at the NRL Bunker on all podcast services as well. Thank you for tuning in to Culture Yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, stay cultured.